would certainly like to thank John for inviting me out to do this. It was such a pleasure to come out this way and work with these wonderful musicians. I want to thank the band directors of these students. I don't know if any of them are out here. Any of the band directors in the audience? If you are, would you please stand? Yeah, we really appreciate you doing the time that you took to do this. Thank you all. Thank you. We have some wonderful students. They've been very well trained. So thank you for all you do for your students. And it was also kind of fun to come back to this area. I was actually born not far from here, just over the river in kind of South Philly area, Springfield, Delaware County. And I had some relatives that lived in Vineland and lived down on the shore. And so it's kind of fun to come back this way and to visit. I had some friends in college, the University of Miami, who were actually from Vineland and some from right here in this area. So it was great fun to be in the area and see what's going on. They certainly know how to make music in this area of the state. So I'm very happy to be here, and I want to thank John again and thank these wonderful kids behind me for all the work they did. We're going to play one more piece. It is not on your program. I was going to do a brand new piece for them that has not even been released yet, and in the transfer of sending the parts electronically, they didn't transfer or something correctly. So John just threw this piece on the program instead. It's a very challenging one. It's interesting, in my writing, after writing probably 200 pieces, I probably have 3 of them that are somewhat jazz-inspired, and you've heard one of them already tonight, and here's another one. Velocity and Metroplex is the one we're going to do for you next. They both have somewhat of a jazz inspiration to them. Metroplex was actually written for a group where I live in Illinois. I live in a city called Normal, Illinois. Yes, that's true. And Normal Community West High School, very fine band. Actually commissioned me several years ago to write a piece entitled The Longford Legend. And after 10 years of having that piece out there, they contacted me and said, you know, it's been 10 years since our school was first built, and you wrote that piece for us the very first year, and we'd like to do something special on our 10th year, so we want to go to Carnegie Hall and premiere one of your pieces in Carnegie Hall. Would you go with us and conduct it in Carnegie Hall? Oh yeah, like I'm going to say no to that. So that's what we did. And coming up with an idea for the piece, I felt it should be a musical souvenir for the students. And I told these kids, you know, for them, going to Manhattan, it's just a trip up the Jersey Turnpike. But for kids in Normal, Illinois, that was a really huge deal. Most of them had never been to Manhattan. And to be able to see that for the first time was really awe-inspiring for them. During the course of their trip, they did several things, certainly having a chance to see the city for the first time, which is what you're going to hear at the beginning of this piece. Then one night they went out to a jazz club to experience that. That's the second part of the piece. And then the third part actually was inspired by a rather memorable taxi ride I once had to Newark Airport where I thought I was going to die. The taxi driver was quite remarkable that in spite of hitting everything that he did, we still got there in time for my flight. And it was something to remember, so I thought I would throw that in. So the piece is actually entitled Metroplex, 3 postcards for Manhattan. They're not lengthy intervals, but just some postcards. And for those of you that go to New York with some frequency, hopefully you'll feel a little bit of that here tonight. Thank you for being such a great audience. Let's get another round of applause for these wonderful people. And thank you for being here in our program with Metroplex, 3 postcards for Manhattan.